Hey lovies, welcome to my channel, Craft Away with May. I'm May. Welcome to my older new stubbies. I'm so glad to have you all here with me today. We are back again with the Just Our Imagination Challenge, guys. And yes, we had some bizarre items to use. They were not too bad, but not items that I often work with. So that's always good for me. But the items we did have to use this month are some chipboard. And alternative to that, you could use poster board, I believe was the alternative if you didn't have access to chipboard. And then we have to use some felt, okay, as well as a oops, a napkin holder. A napkin holder. I'm going to be using the chrome ones from Dollar Tree for my projects today, but I think any napkin holder would do. So guys, I will have the playlist as well as the host and co-host information in my description box below. But before we jump into that first project, lovies, I wanted to say thank you. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for just stopping by last week to join me on my first live. Even those who couldn't make it but watched the replay, or who was there in spirit. You know, I understand when life is life and we have to life it, you know. There's nothing we can do about that. But I still just want to say thank you to those who did show up, you know, who did participate and everything. I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart. My heart is still smiling about that, you know. I just was super excited about the turnout. So I appreciate you guys. So I am going to stop running my mouth right now, and we're going to jump into the first project. See you on the side, lovies. All right, lovies, we're going to jump into our first project, starting with two of these chrome napkin holders from Dollar Tree. And as you saw there, I just removed the tag, and I'm going to put them together bottom to bottom. Then I'm going to go in with some of my white zip ties right here. And this is just going to add stability for this piece, okay? Because as you guys know, you know, adding hot glue, things like that, like with metal, it doesn't always work. So the best way I could come up with to keep these two in place, because I needed this particular shape for these, was to use my zip ties. And so I'm just going to do that on either side. Once I get them as taut as I could, I went ahead and just cut them down, and we're going to stand it up just like that. So next, I'm going to go ahead and take a piece of this chipboard. Now, that's required items. Like I said, we have to use the chipboard, napkin holder, and felt. So I'm taking this chipboard, and I'm just going to outline the two napkin holders together. Okay, so once I get that outline, as you can see, I'm cutting it down there, trying to stay as close to the shape as possible. I'm trying not to go within the line, because I needed this to, I would rather it be over than under, because I didn't want the metal to show on the front and back of this. So then next, because the chipboard is so sturdy, it has some jagged edges on it, I just took my finger sander and smooth those edges out, and it worked out perfectly. Now I'm going to take some more of this chipboard right here, and I'm going to cut out a rectangle shape. That's going to be the top part actually for this piece. Next, you see I'm going in with my Big Daddy Crocodile and I put 4 holes on there, and I actually yeah, just punctured some holes in there. The next what I'm going to do right here is I'm taking some Mod Podge, and I'm giving 1 coat of Mod Podge on the front of each of those pieces of chipboard. Then I'm going in with this beautiful tissue paper. It says pumpkin spice on it, and I'm just gonna go ahead and take some parchment paper and put that in between, and I'm going to apply some heat to this using my mini heat press, and that's just going to make that tissue paper adhere to that surface, seal it nice and tight. Now, normally this process will give you a nice smooth finish, but because we were working with chipboard, although chipboard is sturdy, it's still a porcelain surface, so it's not, that heat is going to go in, steam up, and it's going to make that chipboard swell. So you're going to get some wrinkling some wrinkling and bubbling maybe on this if you were to ever try this method. but it was not extreme. So there was some little, and I think I give a little bit of a close-up here, but it does, you'll see a little wrinkling, but it's still, for using chipboard, it gave it a pretty good surface. So, I mean, a good finish, sorry. And if you guys can hear that rumbling, it's not my stomach, it's the thunder, okay? Like, we are having a serious rainstorm, thunder and rainstorm right now. And so it's really, really loud. Ooh. Oh my gosh, you guys. Can y'all hear that? It's making my house shake. Whoa. Like, I'll tell you guys now, that's like the craziest thing, moving here to Kansas from California. Like, I've heard thunder and lightning. I've seen lightning, heard thunder before. And it is something different out here in the Midwest. Let me tell you. Anyway, okay, that made me all nervous and my goodness. Okay, so right here is where I'm gonna I puncture some holes in the oval shapes as well here. And I don't know, is that oval or oblong? That's probably more oblong than oval. But anyway, I punctured 4 holes in those as well, and that was because I needed to zip tie them. No, I did 2 on 2. So I zip tied them to the top. Y'all see what I'm doing there. And then at the bottom, I'm adding some Aleene's tacky glue. So I was like, let me try this with some Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just gonna clamp it down and see how well it holds together. Now, it did pop a loose, but I don't think I let it sit long enough either. But anyway, I still end up, if you can see right there, like, it's really small, but I end up putting a little bit, another zip tie down there just to hold it down, because I didn't want it to flap up. So anyway, so we're making a pumpkin, if you haven't figured it out. So here I'm taking one of these wood pieces I had in my stash to create the peduncle, and then next I'm going to go in with some of this Spanish moss, okay? And I'm just going to put that right around the top. Now, originally my thought was I was going to put it in between there where the opening is, and I had thought about even, oh my goodness, guys. Okay, I'm gonna try to get through this. Oh my goodness. I was gonna originally do it in the bottom, but I kind of liked it open, because if you like want to put a light in there, or I could even put some flowers or something like to have them sticking out, but I just really liked it like this. I thought it was just a really different type of piece. Like, you know, I was like, oh, it doesn't need to be closed up on the side. I think you still get the pumpkin vibes like this. So yeah, I'm gonna just roll with it for now. If it starts looking weird to me, then I can switch it up. As for right now, it looks like a pumpkin, okay, with some fuzzy top. So then right here, I'm gonna take 2 of these leaves I had in my stash, and I'm just gonna add those to the back of the peduncle. And we're going to use just a little bit of hot glue to do that. And this really came out pretty, in my humble opinion, for what we had to work with. I mean, I'm sure everybody's probably going to make a pumpkin out of it, either pumpkin or sconce or something. I don't know. It's very limited to what you could do. It's at least for my brain of what I could think of to do with it. And I wasn't feeling too well this evening when I was crafting too, so it was kind of me like trying to get through the project so I could go lay down. So yeah, but I mean, this is what I came up with, and I hope it sticks. And so right here I'm just taking one of those happy fall cutouts that come in a pack, I think of 6 from Hobby Lobby, and I put that right on top. Then I'm going to take some of these felt flowers that you can find at Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to stick those right on top in front of the peduncle, just to give it a little extra something. And I was kind of happy because I used all 3 required items in our first project. So I'm still going to use more of the items throughout today's video, but I was really happy that I was able to incorporate all 3 in this one. So yes, we are participating in the Just Our Imagination collaboration. Our playlist, which is hosted by Kathy Joe DIYs and Rustic and Lace DIYs. Their guest host this month is Nikki's Eye for DIY, and I will have their information along with the playlist in my description box below. So stop by and tell them hello. Tell them May say hey. All right, now we're going in again with 2 more of these napkin holders. As you can see there, I put them this time top to top instead of bottom to bottom. Now this is super cute, just like this, right? So I'm taking another piece of that chipboard and I'm going to zip tie that on just like I did the first project, but that part is going to be the bottom. Now like I said, you can literally leave this like this and it could totally be a different style of napkin holder. You could use it for your utensils, anything really. Like when you put it together like this, like you could just leave it like that. And if you wanted to cover up those zip ties, I'm just taking my felt to do that, because one thing I like to make, I haven't made it on the channel in a couple of years, is I like to make like a flower boxes or flower bags, you know, something that looks like a flower purse or things like that. So I was like, you know what, I haven't done that in a while, let me see if I can pull it off with this felt. So I found this felt at Hobby Lobby and I like the pattern in it, like the texture of it, or the I don't know, the texture, pattern, whatever it is. It kind of had almost like a wool, like a wool texture or whatever to it, and I really like that. And so all I'm doing here is I needed to put that chipboard at the bottom because I needed something for the what I just call it, felt to adhere to. So that's the reason for the chipboard at the bottom. And so here I'm just bringing it in on the sides. Now it didn't close quite up. It did on one side, but not on the other side, and that's because I didn't center it correctly. But anyway, you guys will see how I remedy that. So I'm just folding it in and I'm kind of leaving it a little puffy at the bottom because I like the shape that it gave. I just wish I had a little bit more felt where I could like bend it in a little bit or fold it over a little bit, I don't know, but I ended up leaving it like this. I'm just going to put it together with some hot glue. I'm trimming it down just to make it look a little bit more uniform on the sides there that I'm folding up. And as I'm doing, what I'm doing here is I'm trying to get the hot glue to stick. Like it was not holding here, but I just needed to hold it for a longer period than normal. So that's really what it came down to. So next I'm going to take these little strips of they're like fabric stickers, like what is it, I want to say velour. It's not velour, it's like velvet almost. They're like velvet strips, and I got these at Hobby Lobby some time ago. They were on clearance for 74 cents, I think, and I'm just gonna take these and apply it where the seams are. So it wasn't perfect, but I really think this was unique and cute, in my humble opinion. When you guys see at the end, I think it came together quite cute. It was something different, like I haven't seen this before. So hey, when you're giving napkin holders, belt, and chipboard, hey, you do what you gotta do. Oh wait, I used it all three in this one too. I didn't even realize that until right now. All right, go May, go May. Just realized that. Okay, so I used all three in each project, and I mean in the first two projects. That's pretty cool. All right, so then I'm gonna take the other little strip I had there, and I'm gonna take that and put it around the front. And then I had cut down this color strip before, so I'm just going to take the pieces I had left over and I'm going to put that on the back where you can't really see where the two connect. So I just do that, and then I'm going to take one of these little buckle embellishments that I had. I'm going to put that right in the front. I wish I had a gold one, and afterwards I thought about it. I was like, I could have used rub and buff here, which I still may take it off and do that, but anyway, I left that like it was. I'm taking a piece of this pool noodle and I'm just sticking it down in there, and I'm going to start putting some florals, some leaves in this little bag here, and I think it's cute. Like I love the colors. I love the color up against that felt, and it really matched the velvet strip that I put on there. Like that was, I was like, this is really cute, May. I think so. Anyway, for again having to use napkin holders, felt, and chipboard, I think it's kind of cute. I'm just saying. I know. All right, now we're moving on to our final project of today, and you guys know what it is. It is Terracotta teacup number 36, y'all. All right, so now I'm taking some more felt here, and I have this little leaf. It's a little bitty tiny leaf that I'm using as a template to cut out of cut this felt out for. So I cut out approximately 50 pieces. I didn't end up using all 50. I thought I was, but I used I know I used over 40. I just don't know how many I had left over. Anyway, I cut out 50 of them, which is the whole sheet basically. I did have some scraps left over, but I got the 50 pieces I needed. So then I'm going in with this Dijon color paint by Folk Art, and I'm gonna color the bottom part of this, and we're gonna make an acorn. Okay guys, so I wasn't sure what colors to really go with that would really work here, but I had some little miniature acorns that came from Dollar Tree, and they kind of had these colors in it, that yellowish tint to it, with that not this dark brown. I went with the dark brown, which is my burnt umber paint, because when I put the little whatever it is on the acorns, the little shells or whatever it is, I wanted some darkness to kind of come through. I don't know, you guys will see. Y'all will see what I do, because it's hard for me to explain my brain sometimes. So right here, I'm taking some more Aleene's tacky glue, and I'm just going to put a little bit around the rim of the saucer part of this. And then I'm going to go in with some hot glue as well. And again, that's for that long-term hold, if you guys don't know, and the hot glue is for that short-term hold, just to get us through this project, get us through the video. Okay, and so that's where I'm adding in the hot glue right here. I'm just going to stick that right on top. Now I do go in and I add a little bit more of the Aleene's tacky glue around that seam there, because I really wanted this to stay together. Normally I don't mind, I'll just roll with the hot glue, because in the event I want to take one of these and redo them, it's just easier to do it with hot glue versus trying to separate them with a long-term glue. Anyway, that's another story for another day. So right here, I'm going to start layering in the little shells. I don't know, what are they called, the little things that's on the acorns? What are those things called? I don't know what they're called. I'm going to call them shell shingles. Are they called like shingles? Because they look like the little shingles that's on the ceiling, in my opinion. I don't know. So we'll call them little acorn shingles. Okay, not the shingles that, you know, no, not that kind of shingles, but the shingles on the house. Okay, anyway, all right, so once we start getting them layered, it started looking like a little mini palm tree almost, which was like, oh, I gotta write that down so we can make a palm tree for spring. All right, so then we get them layered there. I'm thinking I probably should have went with more like a different color for the bottom. I don't know, but you guys will see when I put the mini acorns on it. Maybe it'll make more sense then. I don't know. So right here, I was like, does it get a stem or does it not get a stem? And I was like, it's just not. It looked like a pineapple right here. And then I was like, okay, no, we can't put a stem on it. So, oh, that's another one we can do, a pineapple. Pineapple. Okay, I got to remember to write that one down. So here are the little miniature acorns I had from Dollar Tree. And see how they have the little yellow in them, and then the little shingly part on top. I was like, okay, I'm not way off with it. So I took the little stem off because it was not giving me acorn vibes with that on there. And I decided to put just a little cluster of acorns on top. And it'll make more sense in just a few seconds once I start going, okay? And so I put that on the base, and then I decided to take one of these stickers that had a chipmunk on him, or squirrel, whichever one. I think it's a squirrel. It had a squirrel on it holding an acorn. So I was like, okay, so we're going to put this on the front of our terracotta teacup. And it looks so pretty, but you could barely see it. I was a little bummed, but it was already on there. And I was like, okay, I don't have a backup for this, so we're going to have to just roll with it. You can see it, but it kind of cuts his head off a little bit. So it was that, but I'm going to try to fix it. Okay. So here I'm just adding in a little bit of hot glue here, because some of the top little shingly things were poking up. And again, it was giving me more like palm tree vibes. So I was like, let me just glue them down, make sure they're tacked, like going all the way down. So that's how we did that. And so then right there, I was like, oh, it kind of looks like a sunflower. Like, I'm thinking like all kind of little things were like popping out of my head. Okay, so there you have it. So you could see, you know, you could see him, but like when it's like, once I put it all together, like you couldn't really see his head. But anyway, so we're just going to glue this to the base. Then we're going to add in the handle, which is, oh no, not yet. Okay, so we're putting the acorns back on. Okay, I don't know what I was doing. Oh, Oh, I think I was second guessing myself if I wanted to do that. Like, did I just want to go back and finish filling in the top part of it? And I was like, no, I'm going to put the acorns on there since this is supposed to be an acorn teacup, right? The more acorns, the better. So that's what we did right there. So then afterwards, I think this is where I come in and I put the handle after I stop picking away at the little glue webs. I think. I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, there we go. Showing y'all again. Can't see his head. All right, now we're going to go in and put the handle on. So how I make the handle, if you guys don't know, I use a little macrame ring. I'm not sure which millimeter it is. I just go according to the size of the cup. And if it looks good, I go with it. And I just glue that on. And that's what takes it from a terracotta teapot. I'm sorry, a terracotta pot, and make it into a terracotta teacup. All right, so here you just see I'm adding in more acorns around the bottom because, again, the more acorns the better. And for those who are joining us for the first time, we have been running a terracotta teacup series on this channel where I take a terracotta pot and turn it into a terracotta teacup with a theme. We are on theme number 36, right? So right here is where I come in, and I'm going to add in one of my little resin squirrels and put it right on top. He's holding the acorn as well. So I was like, okay, we're going to get a squirrel on here because y'all know, I told y'all I'm digging squirrels this year, right? I am going to bring in some more little fuzzy animals in the next couple of videos, but right now we're digging the squirrels, okay? So here I'm just going to go ahead and add him to the front, and I'm going to add some more of the little miniature acorns to this so you can really see them behind him, because I was like, this is a little acorn hut, okay? This is their little hut where they're storing all their acorns. And here we are with the final reveal, lovies. And if you are still here riding with me, thank you so much. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. Don't forget, we are participating in the Just Our Imagination Challenge, guys. I will have all that information in the description box below, so stop by and tell the ladies I said hello. But you guys know, y'all know my famous question, my favorite question. Let me know, lovies, did you have a favorite of today? I want to hear about that, okay? And stick around because I do like to show all the terracotta teacups that we have made this far. It does go by quite fast, so don't worry, it's not going to take up too much of your time, but I just love to show each one that we've created and just to see how far we've come. You know, I can't believe it. I say it all the time, I can't believe it. We're just going and going. We are really going to get to 50 by the end of 2025. That is so bizarre to me, but we're doing it, okay? So here is our little fall decor purse. I don't know what to call it. I don't know, our decor bag. And here is terracotta teacup number 36, guys. Our acorn, our squirrel and acorn terracotta teacup, which I think is absolutely adorable. I'm sorry for the lighting on this because, like I said, you know, the storm is here and everything, so it was really dark. I couldn't get any better lighting in the craft room, so I'm sorry, but I hope you guys can still make out how it looks. And I think this is super cute. Like, the options are endless here. I can't wait to do, like I said, like a pineapple, a palm tree, like a sunflower. The options are endless. But here's everything, guys. And don't forget, like I said, check out that playlist. Go to the description box. And also, guys, I also now have set up Buy Me a Coffee, and that just will help me with buying extra supplies. You know, I know I always say I have stuff in my stash, but there are still supplies like I have to get, like glue and other little knick-knacky things like that. So, you know, if you're ever feeling generous, if not, you guys know I would never really ask, but hey, I just like you being here. And if you can, you can. If you can't, you can't. It doesn't change the way I love you. All right. And let me know also, lovies, if you see a terracotta teacup in here that you like. Let me know if you have a favorite one of those. And also, if you have any suggestions. You guys are still keeping the suggestions coming, which is amazing to me, because I'm like, wow, you know, if we really keep going at this, if we were to go for a full year would be in March. If we were to go from up until March, it would make a full year of me doing these, that we would, of course, go well past 50. But just the ideas, and even if we do new ones, you know, a remake of the old ones we've done, but I think it would be super cool. But you know, we're gonna just get to 50 first and see how we do there. do with that. But let me know, lovies, if you have a favorite, okay? I want to hear about that. So, and if you haven't already done so, lovies, please, 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 please consider subscribing, liking, sharing, and commenting, just because you know how I feel about those comments after each and every video and how much I love to chat with you guys. So please, please, please keep them coming, because I want to hear from you all. Yeah, and yeah. And again, I just want to say thank you, lovies, for being here. It means the world to me, you know, that you guys come back every week and hang out with me. I know I say it all the time, but it is true. It is genuine. It's from the heart. I love you guys with every bit of my heart, and I appreciate you all. All right, lovies, and don't forget to check out that playlist. Tell the ladies I'm headed over, because I can't wait to see what all they have for you guys. All right, until the next video, lovies, be safe, be kind. I'm just trying to get my space ready to start recording for y'all. All right, so yeah, it takes me a minute just to even get started, but we're gonna, you know, I don't know. I have stuff everywhere, but we're gonna get this party started, okay? Shenanigans to mix. Hugs and kisses. XOXO. Bye.